Yeah,
Right there.
yes, sir. It looks like the ones from yesterday.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, yes, sir.
Judge, all the monitors are off.
Yeah, I know, I'm trying to,
Okay, that's,
we'll have to look at the data,
Okay.
that power surge that was going on.
And I believe is this the position the trash can was in when you found it?
That's representative of, like I said, once the door was open, on how the trash can and the bags were there.
When you say it's representative, was the trash can moved and put back in place, or is that exactly how it was?
In this particular picture, I think that my best recollection is that's how it was. It wasn't. At some point in time, I did remove these and we stopped because of the weight of the trash can, believing that Evelyn might be in that trash can. But like I said, my best recollection is that was the way it was when the door was open and we first saw that.
Okay. At some point after picking the trash can up, was it placed back in the same position for more photos?
I believe, yes, sir, it was.
Okay, so some of the photos we saw yesterday, the trash can was not exactly as you found it. It was to the best of your ability to put it back. Is that fair?
Yes, and this probably, well, I don't want to probably, but yes, that is correct. It was moved and then replaced. And then, like I said yesterday, we stopped and made some phone calls after we confirmed or believed that to be Evelyn's body.
And the trash bag, the black trash bag, that's ultimately where Evelyn's body is found.
Underneath, it looks like, yes, there was a black trash bag on top of the one that's in there.
Okay. Where did you find the body? And what I mean by that is, did you find the body in the trash can after you had removed it? They're giving you a pointer,
Oh,
so if you
okay.
need that. After you
Thank
had
you.
removed the trash can from the building, or were you still in the building when you found the body?
Best I can remember, sir, was, like I said, we opened that door and we saw those items. Now we had the knowledge of, she had said that there was maybe to look for a trash can. So that alerted us. Red flag went off, if you will. That time I think I removed some items on top of that and maybe moved the can, but like I said, once I felt the can, it had some significant weight to it, more so than a regular trash can has household trash in it. Removed some items off the top of that, and then that's when I first saw the leg of Evelyn's body. Like I said, may have replaced it or resituated best I can, stopped what we were doing, and made the appropriate phone calls.
So you say you replaced it.
Set it back, yes, close
Set,
to.
set the trash can back in. Did you set the stuff back in the trash can that was on top of the body?
I don't recall putting those items back on top. I think once those items were removed, and some of the items I remember specifically, there was a bread bag, an empty bread bag that was in that top portion of the trash, and I recall it having a September 2019 expiration date, which again alerted us that, hey, this wasn't there like the rest of that stuff I testified to was obvious to me. It had been there for years, and now you had these couple bags of trash in this can that looked out of place or looked more recent. And I think, after seeing that, opening that bread bag with that date, obviously that date gave us an idea that this was a window of time that was recent, that fit close to the proximity that Evelyn was reported missing.
Okay. So the black trash bag in Exhibit 17, it appears to be pressed down in the trash can. Is
Yes,
that correct?
sir. Yes, sir.
So at some point you took it out of the trash can.
Yes, sir. That was, as I best recall, that was the first thing removed from that can.
Agent Fraley, I'm gonna show you what's been marked as Exhibit 15.
Okay.
Is that the same black trash bag?
Yes, sir. As best I recall, you could only see that portion in that last picture, and that's after it's kind of been opened
Okay,
to inspect the contents inside.
okay. So, that picture was taken after you open the door, obviously. Did you take the trash bag out of the can? Or did you?
I can't recall if I did or not. Like I said, I think I did, because to inspect the bigger bag that was down in the bottom of the can with Evelyn's body.
Okay, did you place the black trash bag back in the can?
I can't recall if I did or not. Like I said, once we confirmed that was Evelyn's body, or what we believed to be, we stopped. But I can't remember if I placed it back in there or set it to the side.
Now, I assume there's a protocol to how you all would handle a scene like this. Could
Yes.
you walk me through that?
Well, typically, like I said, this was a looking for Evelyn's body, because based off of what the phone call had come in to come there to search for items that he had said had been brought there and placed in the yard barn. We found those items. I think Detective or Special Agent Gratz and Haraz with the Sheriff's Department started looking, inspecting, and made the decision to take that. And then the process of that led us to the just to look in the playhouse where we found these items. So for protocol, I guess there's not a checklist to start looking, but once items are found, the protocol is to photograph those, bag those, seal those bags, mark those bags, and ultimately send them to our TBI labs for examination.
And I assume the protocol would be not to contaminate other pieces of evidence there. You want to keep everything as separate as possible.
As best we can.
You described the situation where you all placed her body on a clean body bag.
Yes, sir.
And I think you said y'all put wax paper on the porch prior to doing
I
that.
think it was like butcher paper, this rolled butcher paper, then the body bag on top of that, and then as we were removing the contents of the trash can, it was onto the body bag.
The black bag, when you inspected it, anything significant in it?
Like I said, the only thing that sticks out is that bread bag with the date. Kind of, like I said, that other stuff had been there for years, it appeared to me, and the others. And this appeared to be recent, and that date on that bag, I recall.
Okay. If I could approach the court reporter, Judge. Agent Fraley, I'm showing you what's been marked as Exhibit 11. You recognize that?
That looks like, yeah, that's one of the pictures introduced yesterday.
Okay. What does-
That's the playhouse with the door open, showing the trash can
okay.
inside the doorway.
And that's the front porch of the where you ultimately place the body back, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you could, do you have that pointer still?
Yes, sir.
Could you point for the jury and show them where you placed the paper, where you placed the bag?
Can you raise that? Does that raise up anymore? Okay, yeah,
Is
that's,
that better?
yeah, it was on this porch right here.
And I'll take that one down. Actually, if we could go back to that for just a minute.
Okay.
Over here on the side, can you see what looks to be like is wire?
This right here?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to show you another picture.
Okay.
Does that appear to be the same wire?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that appears to be an accurate representation of the porch at some point during that night.
Yes, sir.
We'd move this as the next exhibit, Judge.
Any objection? 46.
Go.
Let me see everybody over here. Do it again. All right, go ahead, Mr. Scott.
Agent Fraley, I'm going to show you what's been marked as Exhibit 21.
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize that?
Yes, that was one of the photos introduced yesterday depicting the removal of the trash bag containing Evelyn's body from the can onto the body bag.
And that was done on the front of the porch, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Was, at the time you all did that, the wire and stuff, was that kept away from that body bag, or?
Best I recall, we moved those items in order to clear the front porch to do this.
Okay, to keep from contaminating anything, I assume.
Well, to provide room as a flat space, the most convenient place for that. But it was, like I said, right there on the front porch. I think it was moved off to the side of the playhouse.
Okay. If we could go back to the last, actually. We'll put back up Exhibit 46. Exhibit 46, I'm showing you around the wire and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Does it appear to you that there are some leaves and debris under the wire?
I can't make out, I'm sorry, I can't make out exactly what that is.
Okay. Now approach the witness. Do you recognize what that is?
Like I said, that's a little clearer picture. That's not.
What is that a picture of?
It looks to be a portion of that picture.
Sorry.
Is it up in this portion here? That area, is that a zoomed in of
Yes, sir.
that area?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's that's a little clear.
Okay, and you recognize that picture that you have in front of you?
Yes, sir. Like I said, it looks to be the middle portion of that, and it's a little clearer now that it does appear leaves, maybe some grass or hay or something there underneath that wire in this area,
Okay.
and also it appears maybe 2 insect pupae right there.
If I may, I would ask that the picture is identified be the next exhibit.
You object?
No, no objection.
47.
We'd ask to publish this at this time. Agent Fraley, is that a better
Yes, sir.
picture for you to
Yes,
describe
sir.
to the jury?
It is.
I believe you said you saw some leaves.
Yes, sir. It looks like maybe right there.
Uh-huh.
And that might, that area right there is what I said looked like grass or hay, possibly.
Okay.
And then, I'm sorry,
Oh,
those
go
two, those two right there is what it said looked like insect.
You described those as pupae.
Yes, that's,
You talked about pupae yesterday. What's pupae?
it's just where an insect, once an egg is formed, it's formed as larva. In the middle of that stage before it fully develops into an adult, that's the stage of that.
Okay, so the egg would be laid and then it forms into this. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. That pupae, do they move on their own?
Yes, they're living organisms, and they feed, which, like I testified yesterday, it's common with human decomposition that the eggs are laid on that decomposing human flesh, and that's where they develop from there.
Okay. You say they're living organisms, but in fact, a pupae is an insect in its inactive, immature form between larva and adult.
It's in the middle.
It's an inactive form.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
So they don't crawl around, do they?
Like I said, the eggs are laid, and then they develop into an adult.
Okay, that's the stage before they become larvae, which would move around.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you about the so when you found the body in the trash can, it was in a bag, correct?
Yes, sir.
Evelyn had leaves in her hair.
I don't recall that. I don't recall that.
Okay, were there any leaves in that trash can?
I don't recall.
You
The
say you
leaves.
don't. When you say you don't recall, I guess I want you to clarify. Did you say I don't remember, you saying I don't remember, or I don't
Well,
remember?
even reviewing the pictures yesterday, I don't remember saying, I mean, it's been 5 years, but even reviewing those, I don't remember seeing leaves inside of those.
So you don't think there were leaves in the trash can or her hair?
Like I said, I don't remember seeing those even after the review of those photographs yesterday.
Okay. I want to talk about the body. Obviously, when you find it, you had to move it to some degree.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you would have done your best to have placed it back in the, you moved it out of the trash can and then placed it back like it was, I'm assuming.
No, sir.
Okay, tell me what you did.
Are you talking about removing the body and then putting it back in?
Yes.
No, sir.
Okay,
That's incorrect.
okay, tell me.
No, once we went into the playhouse, opened that door, saw what we saw, the trash can, the 2 bags that, like I said, were obvious to us that they didn't match everything else in that playhouse. It was, and then confirming, like I said, with the information that Megan had provided to us, that the trash can was in play. That first black bag removed, and then like I talked about the empty bread bag that had expiration date, that confirmed this wasn't in the time frame of this other stuff with the dust and the cobwebs. Pulled that off, and that's when the odor of decomposition appeared or was present, and then pulled that fleece blanket back, and then that's when I saw the leg and the foot. That's when we stopped at that point. Then made our phone calls, forensic pathology, medical examiner, DA's office, and our chain of command.
So I assume you made as minimal of movement as the body as possible.
Yes, sir.
But
Again, because we were, number one, trying to confirm if that was her. We were optimistic and hopeful it was. And once we verified that, at that point, we stopped and waited on them for guidance.
But it would be fair to say you moved the body.
Absolutely, we did.
You had
But
to be-
like I said, not from the trash can and then
Right.
put it back.
But you had
just-
to move it within the trash can in order to see what you were seeing.
No, again, just pulled the blanket back and saw that leg and foot. We didn't, the body wasn't moved. Now, it may have moved when we moved the trash can, but we didn't physically touch the body,
So,
remove it, and replace it.
so fair to say you didn't try to move it, but when you moved the trash can, it could have moved.
Yes, sir, it absolutely could have moved.
Judge, could I have just a minute? Did you collect any evidence there yourself? I know, and what I'm saying is typically, at least for the jury, I'll explain the question. I know you know what I'm asking you, but typically a lot of law enforcement people are there. One person may collect this, one person may collect that. Did you collect any of the evidence there?
I recall when we first got there and we were in that yard barn where all that evidence was. I think Gratz wanted, Special Agent David Gratz wanted all of that taken. I think I assisted in that. And then, like I said, then went to the playhouse, found Evelyn's body, was active in processing that. Those bags, what wasn't sent to the forensic center for autopsy, which included Megan's body and the clothing, and the blanket, those other items were collected. They were transferred from that scene over to the Sullivan County Sheriff's Department, where we continued to process. But I think I was party to that as well. So I think to answer your question, what you're getting at, if I collected evidence items, and yes, I did.
Do you know which items?
I'd have to look at those lists because they were, it was voluminous in the items that were collected. It was dozens, I believe. I'd have to see that list to refresh my memory.